What's up, my fantasy football G fans? Today we're going to be doing three things. We're going to be looking at my Mo Salah draft while discussing what is the best way to structure your team so that it's easy to make transfers without having any money in the bank. And we're going to look at how to use the fixture ticker so you can actually build your team. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Kat. Please give me some time. If you like what you see, then hit that like button. And most importantly, please subscribe so I can keep bringing you guys new content. So let's jump straight into it. This is my Mo Salah draft. I will read it out for you guys. I got the two goalkeepers, Sanchez and Pope. I've got in the back line of 5, Shirin Timber, Malo Gusto, Canote, Bardio, Pedro Porro. And then in my 5 midfielders, I've got Martin Odegaard, I've got Nkunku, I've got Mo Salah, I've got Gordon, I've got Gibbs White. And in my strikers, I've got Kai Havertz, I've got João Pedro, and I've got Isak. So I think the first place we have to start there is structuring your team, basically. Now, what do you mean structuring your team, Kat? What I mean structuring your team is, and I actually learned this from my brother during my time in growing up in FPL, and he said, listen, bro, you have to structure your team financially as well so that it's easy for you to make moves without having to have money in the bank, but at the same time, really sort of search for money. And ever since then, I've always had to think of this when building my teams. And there'll be times in the season where you have to lose your structure because you really want to commit to the midfield, or you want to commit to the defense, or you want to commit to the forwards. And rightfully so, if, of course, the forwards are in form, or the midfield's in form, or 5 at the back is back again. So in this case, on my side, what I would always say is try start off with a balanced side, and a balanced side in the sense of being able to also make transfers throughout the season without having to depend on having money in the bank. So when we look at this draft, you can see in our goalkeepers, we have 4.5 goalkeeper and we have a 5 goalkeeper. Now, there's a balance in the sense of if I really want to commit to a goalkeeper of a 5.5 value, I can do that with the 2 moves between the goalkeepers. But then again, we hardly make goalkeeper subs. We try to do rotations within FPL. So if you really want to just go for 2 goalkeepers, you're going to rotate, then that's absolutely fine. We'll move into using the fixture ticker, how to use a fixture ticker to do that. But already there you can see what I'm talking about. Then within the defensive line, it's making sure that you have almost the same price point that you would need for a specific person. So for example, I don't have a Trent, and that's 7 million. Say I wanted a Trent, right? I would have to make a couple of moves within my defense and maybe even my midfield in order to take money from there to there, from the midfield to the defense. And I can do that with the structure I have because firstly, I already have a 6 million defender, and I also got 2 5.5 defenders as well. I also got and I also got 2 5 million defenders. So even within the defense, I can find money somewhere in order. So for example, we have 5 free transfers now, which is honestly a big thing because before you only had 2 free transfers to do things. And this is why it was such a game changer with naming the 5 free transfers, because now you can gather up your transfers. And if Trent is really on form with on a slot, I could honestly just grab in 3 transfers, I can move Guardiola to Trent there, and they do have some very good fixtures, Liverpool, and I could just go Malo Gusto, or I could just say Zirin Timber, I can say Malo Gusto or Canote and Guardiola, and I can grab those 0.5s from them and add it onto Guardiola. So there already you can see I can actually move from a player with less to more. And of course, it's so much easier moving from a player from more to less. So for example, in the midfield, I can go for Cole Palmer, of course, maybe just moving down from a Mo Salah to a Cole Palmer in, of course, a heavy fixture. And that's just an example. I'm not saying that's something you're going to do. But I think in this case, you're probably thinking, okay, Kat, how do you move to a Haaland? So, for example, it is very difficult to have a Haaland and a Salah draft, but not impossible. But it's very difficult. So in my case, what I would do then is I can take a Salah and one of the 8 million Havertz or Isak and actually get a Haaland and then sacrifice to have a smaller priced midfielder. So getting to a Haaland again then is not impossible. And that in itself is just 2 moves. So that's what I mean when I say structuring your team very well in such a way where you don't also need to have money in the bank, because there is money well spread out already within the team where you can do it in really just a few moves. And you want to try and do it within a few moves. Like, for example, the Trent move takes 3 moves actually to do that, 3 substitutions. And I know you don't want to use 3 actual three actual transfers. So that's another point, is structure your team in such a way where you know you can do it at least in 2 transfers and not too many transfers. Having money in the bank really helps you because you can do things with 1 transfer. So I think now having the leniency of having 5 free transfers, I don't feel like there's necessity to have money in the bank. I think with a good structure, you can at least, you can use those 2 free transfers and you can still have 3 other free transfers. And I think that's the luxury of having the 5 free transfers. Right. Let's take a look at how I am lining up with this team and dip into how to use your actual fixture ticker to how to use your fixture ticker to build your team. Now, building your team, right? So I think starting with the goalkeepers is another very good example. A lot of the times people don't want to use transfers to get in a new goalkeeper. So what we try to do when you build your team is you get 2 goalkeepers who have complementary fixtures. So for example, in this one here, we've got Sanchez playing Man City at home on the first game, when I actually also have Pope playing Southampton on the first game. So automatically there you can see I would rather play Pope on that first game. And in the second game as well, I could play Pope. But then again, I've got 2 goalkeepers who, when one is playing a bad fixture, the other one is playing a good fixture. And that's a way in which in a lot of the other positions as well throughout the team is what you sort of want to go for. But at the same time, you also are looking for a fixture run. So at the bottom of me over here, I've put teams who I think have the best 5 fixtures, which I want to try and build my team around. So as you can see there, we have Aston Villa, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest. Now, not everybody from my team will be there because, of course, you will need to have some value people like João Pedro. But then again, he's also a person within the team where I can make transfers in order, if I really want to, sorry about that, make transfers if I really want to actually bring in somebody as well, maybe of higher value or same value, or build my team mainly on those big teams that have very good fixtures. So when you look at it here, I don't have a Aston Villa player, but I can look to get them if I really want to, maybe in the defense, maybe in the midfield as well. McGuinness 5.5, so I can move that João Pedro 5.5 to a midfield of 5.5 if I really want to get a excuse me, a 6.5 midfielder, a 6.5 striker, and a 5.5 midfielder as well. You've got Tielemans as well there, who's a 5.5, who should have enough good game time now, considering that Douglas Luiz is not going to be there. I'm very aware Onana's coming in, but I still think McGinn is also a very good option there as well, who's highly involved. So try to have your team to have players with good fixtures, a good run of fixtures in the first few games. And for me, that's really what my strategy is going to be within this first few games, is trying to rack up and get those 5 transfers rolled so that I can always go to them if I really need to make drastic changes. You need to know the manager you are. I know the manager I am. Yes, I love to make a transfer every single game week, but that means I need to start off the season in building a very good team, which does need to make transfers throughout the whole week. So let's just go through the lineup as to how I'm going to line up. And yeah, right now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Hey, Lovey. Lovey's just saying hi to you guys. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am so loving this draft. Like, I feel like it's so well balanced. I'm really, really, really happy with it. And right now, I would say that this is my team draft. I will build a Haaland draft for you guys, but I myself am not going to go the Haaland route. I'm really just going to build a Haaland draft for you guys just to see what's the best way maybe that you can build it. But the beauty of the game this season is that because of the way Haaland's priced and the other players as well, there's no template. I mean, there are players who are highly selected and, you know, people have got them in their team. But honestly, right now, it's either you got a no Haaland draft or you got a no Salah draft and you got a Haaland draft. So it's making the game a lot more exciting. In the sense of last season, it was like everybody's team was almost very much the same because Haaland was gettable, and because he was gettable, then you try and fit in a couple of other premiums as well. So yeah. So in goals, I'm going to start off with Pope. I am going to start off with a 3-4-3 formation as well. And that's going to be João Pedro in the defense with Kieran Timber and Vardy as my 3 defenders. And then I'm going to have Mo Salah as captain, Martin Odegaard and Gibbs White. And I'm going to have Gordon as well. And then I'm also going to have Isak in the forward line with Havertz and João Pedro playing the first few games. I got the Chelsea boys on the bench. And you can see there Chelsea's got a good run of fixtures straight after that Man City run. So I want to be there, you know, when those players start to get into form. And if not, then it's fine. I can always take them out when I need to, but I really want to play the fixtures right now. But I will be keeping an eye on them and every other team, which you should be as well throughout the preseason. So make sure you do that. And then I have Konate on the bench as well. So yeah, guys, please. I hope you really love the content. Please make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of my Mo Salah draft, and what you guys think of how you building your team. How's your team structure? What's your strategy as well? Are you looking to build up those 5 free transfers? Really interested to hear from you guys and get you into the community. League code was in the bottom of the headlines. You can go back and just check that out as well. And yeah, if you want to see what my no Haaland and no Mo Salah draft look like, then you can check that out right over here. But until then, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.